Now I think it's safe to say that just like any game, Minecraft has got its fair share of useless features. There's just a handful of items and different things that you can do that seem a tiny bit pointless to me. But today, hopefully, I'm going to change that opinion because we're going to be taking those useless features and we're going to be adding a use to them. Now the first useless feature that we're going to be targeting today is this guy right here, the bat. Now although I absolutely love ambient mobs in Minecraft, I like the fact that the world feels alive with them. Bats, they're just annoying. I mean, they make horrible noises, they're really difficult to kill due to their erratic flying patterns, and they don't even drop anything when you do kill them. Useless. But here's my concept. Back in the early days of Redstone, we would build things like this. Now this is a chicken randomizer, and the idea is that the chicken would randomly power this redstone lamp when it decides to move. But as you can see, they're fairly reluctant to move. I mean, they take ages to do anything. You know what? I might actually be onto something here. I'm serious. This guy is super active. He kind of moves around a lot. And it turns the thing on and off quite frequently. This is perfect. The only thing is that it would be so incredibly difficult to catch a bat and get it into a redstone contraption. And then, of course, you'd have to rename it to stop it from despawning. But I would say this is a huge success. I mean, look, that is a truly random circuit. Amazing. One green outline for the bats. Okay, next up, we're going to move on to an item in Minecraft that, to be honest with you, has always confused me a tiny bit. I don't really know if there is any use for it, and that is this old chestnut, the chorus fruit. Now, if you eat one of these, I don't know if it will actually work in survival mode, but if we pop through into survival here and eat it, you can see that it randomly teleports us to a location. Now there has to be something that we can do with this. Now I wonder, can I use it to get on top of things? Oh! Hold the phone! That has just put us on the other side of that wall. Forget going on top of things. What about getting inside of things that you're not meant to be getting inside of? That's a genuine give me a second. So here we have Jimmy's Impenetrable Stronghold. As you can see, this is one solid block of obsidian, and I can't get in there because all I'm equipped with is a diamond hoe. So let's see, if I eat this chorus fruit. Okay, we've gotten further away. That's not the best start. Okay, we've gotten further away once again. Oh, I mean, it's kind of one of those things. It's like a game of chance. You don't really know where you're going to end up, but I'm sure at some point I could end up on the inside. I mean, it's got to happen. Unless there's some kind of Minecraft rule about teleporting inside of structures. It could be a genuine thing. Oh, that was close though. Oh, there we go. So we can get inside of structures using chorus fruit. There we go, and look at these valuables. No wonder he built an impenetrable fortress. So, chorus plants get an absolute yes from me. That's incredibly useful. In fact, that's kind of made it jump the list from being very unuseful to being one of the most useful items I could think of. Now, this one's going to be tricky. I mean, other than looking good, what does this do as a pressure plate that makes it not useless? I know what it's meant to do. It's meant to give off redstone outputs depending on how many entities are on top of it. But in my experience, that doesn't really work so well. So my first idea was to do a farm speed indicator. So this is a system which shows you how fast your farm is producing items. And they all land on these pressure plates, and you can see that the little gauge goes upwards from 0, which is our base level, to speedy, to real fast, to blitzkrieg, to a literal fire. Your farm is producing so many items, it's actually produced a flame over there. And as you can see, yeah, the redstone lamps begin to increase. I wonder if I can get a literal flame. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to pull it off. But, of course, this idea is about as useless as the feature itself, because all of the items are just sat there to despawn. All of the items that your farm is producing, well, they're not going anywhere, they're just landing on that pressure plate. And obviously you can't put a hopper underneath the pressure plate because then the gauge won't work, and the pressure plate will power the hopper, which means that the hopper won't pick up the items. Stupid. But I'm not quite done with this idea just yet, because now we're going to take a look at mobs, which the weighted pressure plates actually seem to work a little bit better for. Now, unfortunately, gold is still pointless for this application, but iron is definitely useful, because if we start getting some zombies in here, you can see that we're going to add some of them, and gradually our redstone signal strength out the back here is going to increase. Now, eventually, once we get enough zombies, it is actually going to power that redstone lamp. So let's see. I think it should be happening any second now. We've got quite a few zombies, so obviously if we had some form of XP grinder, this would be expected. There we go. Okay, so there is our zombie. Now, if we add in, so 1 more zombie, 2 more zombies, 3 more zombies, 4 more zombies, that's when they start taking that damage, and it's pointless to get any more. So this redstone lamp is actually a good indicator for when it's probably a good idea to actually start killing off your zombies so none of them get wasted. Useful! So all's going well so far, but I don't necessarily have the highest hopes for this one. The fact that you can place redstone on top of pistons and it actually functions, which is surprising, but all of the redstone breaks when the pistons retract, which is a real shame, by the way, Mojang. I mean, this is a feature that could definitely be added into the game, and everyone would definitely be very happy about. I mean, I guess this could be like a one-use, really compact, monostable circuit. Is that use? I can't remember the last time I needed a one-use monostable circuit, so probably not. But a trap, something like a trap, is generally a one-use mechanism. So I think we could have come up with something here, and it's really, really simple. As you can see, we've got ourselves some pressure plates, and we've got ourselves a piston door. The player walks forwards, and instantly those blocks get pushed out the way, and we fall down into some lava. Now, the way that I've done it is we've just got a gap underneath the piston door. We've got the blocks right here, and then pressure plates on top of the pistons, and as soon as you power those pressure plates, they pop off, but also push the blocks ahead as fast as possible. Can't get any faster than that, and that creates a trap. Now, is that useful? I think I'm going to give this one an amber. Reason being, I mean, sure, it is a use. We have found a use for placing redstone on top of pistons, but there are better traps out there. Oh boy. Before we had horses, we had these guys. Pigs, saddles, and carrots on sticks. Now, it's not a fast way to travel, is it? So there's no use there. Okay, I would say in general transport, there's not a use. So we're gonna have to come up with something a little bit different. Now I'm just wondering, could this be a way to sustain some serious fall damage? I mean, this. No. Okay, the pig doesn't break our fall in the slightest. Now that I've got myself a replacement stunt pig, I've noticed that there's a gap in the terrain right here, which a regular pig should be able to fit through, but I cannot. Oh, that's actually quite handy. So we can travel through 1 block high spaces using a pig. Oh my word, that's giving me a gut. Imagine that as a maze. You know what? There's no need for imagination. Here we have the pig. Here we have my little carrot on a stick. And if we pop through here, it's a little invisible maze where you have to make your way round navigating via pig. Okay, so I have to go up like this. Oh. And I've managed to make it out on the other side. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. This is one of the best uses I've found for anything in Minecraft ever. Forget green concrete, this is getting emerald blocks because of how useful it is. For this next feature, I'm actually having to venture away from my little area and go on the hunt for a feature in Minecraft that is pretty rare and also totally pointless. There it is, in all of its glory. The desert well. I remember when I first started playing Minecraft, when these were first introduced into the game, they were pretty crazy. You know, you'd see these appearing in the desert and you'd think to yourself, wow, that's amazing. New features, new Minecraft structures. But nowadays, you know, we've got some pretty rad structures. I mean, we've got a village over there. We've got another village over there. Obviously, we've got the woodland mansions and the actual desert temples. Those things are pretty impressive. This is starting to look a little bit pants. So what I'm going to do is transform it into something that isn't so pants, which is just a tiny little bunker underneath here. So the first thing that I'm going to have to do is clear out some of the water temporarily, and then we're going to build trapdoors and little chest systems down at the bottom here so we can have a tiny little base hidden under this well. Now it's nothing too crazy, but I think it's worked out pretty well. So if we take a look at the eastern edge and throw an item in, you'll see that our pistons open up and then we can drop down to the bottom and we have access to all of the chests. We can use up all of the crafting benches, furnaces and everything like that. Then when we're done, we just pop up into the water stream, make our way to the top, and then we grab our item from the hopper that's down at the bottom there, and that will close everything behind us so that we're nicely hidden away. Now, can you imagine how cool it would be if Mojang was to add something like this into the game? I mean, we've already got some redstone in the jungle temples, we've got some redstone in the desert temples, I think even the woodland mansion might have a little bit of redstone, would it be so difficult for them to sneakily add something like that in, just so that these little wishing wells that are dotted around the desert actually have a use to them? I think that would be amazing. Anyway, back on over by our useless area, the last feature that we're going to be taking a look at in today's video is the furnace minecart. We're gonna try and find a use for the furnace minecart. Find a use for the furnace minecart. A use for the furnace minecart. Yeah, that's not going to happen. And on that note, it's time to end today's video. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, please hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Just get out of here. Just, you belong in like 2010 at the very latest.